Greetings, Casas Adobe's families, and thank you so much for being here with me for the family message. Today is May 17th, and we are quickly approaching Pentecost. We have 2 more Sundays. We're still in Easter, and that's why I'm wearing white, but we are approaching Pentecost at the end of the month, and so we have a story about where Jesus is going to go and what's going on. So we hear in the Gospel of John today a story that Jesus is praying with his friends before his time of trouble, before he dies, and he talks to his friends about not to be afraid. Don't be afraid because I'm going to go away for a while, but I'm not going to leave you alone. I'm going to send you, he says, I'm going to send you an advocate. And that's someone who will stand up for you, someone who will be a fan and cheer you on. So don't be afraid that I'm going away. Well, we happen to know the rest of the story because we went through Easter, that Jesus doesn't go away. And so even though they think Jesus is gone, he really is present with us. And there is an advocate, which we know with the coming of Pentecost, we know that's going to be the Holy Spirit. One of the things that Jesus also says is, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. Now, when we talk about commandments, we often think about Moses. This is my Moses action figure who I have. And the thing is that not only Moses, but Jesus, here's Jesus, where's Jesus? There. Jesus also left commandments, and Moses has the 10 Commandments, and that's what he's holding up right here. And Jesus reminded us when somebody said, well, which one of the 10 Commandments is the greatest? Well, he said, you know, there are really 2 commandments, and one of them is to love God with your heart and love God with everything you have. And the second one is to love your neighbor as yourself. And so Jesus summed up this in those 2 lines. And so we have this, to love God and love ourselves. And Jesus says, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. So if you love me, you're going to love God and you're going to love your neighbors. And that's the important thing that we're remembering today. So you've heard the term, oh, well, so-and-so's religious. They go to church. They must be religious. Well, what does religious mean? Well, you guess you can say that religious means that you're devoted to something. Normally, saying you're religious means that you're devoted to God. But if we think about it, sometimes we can put other things in place of our religion. We can put things like video games or looking pretty or having money. All of those things can become sort of like a religion because we get devoted to them. We need to be able to think in bigger terms. What's bigger than being pretty? What's bigger than having money? So one of the things that I have have in my office is they're nesting dolls. They're Russian nesting dolls. And these have little pictures of saints, and it kind of reminds me of how we move to bigger and bigger things. So this is a little sort of picture of a saint called uh, Pantaleon. Pantaleon, and he is he was a doctor. He was a Roman doctor, and so he did a lot of good stuff, and some people remember him as being someone who healed people, and so they really, really like Pantaleon. Well, the thing about Pantaleon is, isn't there someone bigger than him? Why, sure enough, it's Paul, and I'm going to devote my life to Paul. Who needs Pantaleon? Where is he? Oh, there he is. So let's get a new devotion, and now I am really into Paul, and I want to do everything for Paul, because Paul was a really great guy, and he was able to do all sorts of stuff for the church, and so he's one. But wait, you know what? What about John the Baptist? Oh, look, there's John the Baptist. And John the Baptist was so much more important than Paul. Please excuse me. It's hard because the camera does everything backwards. So I have to remember how to do things backwards. Yeah, let's do John the Baptist. He's super duper. I'm going to become a super fan of John the Baptist. So in goes Paul, and I'm getting the bigger picture of John the Baptist. Why, I'm a super fan and devoted to John the Baptist because he knew everything. He's a great guy. But isn't something missing? Oh, you know what? What about Jesus? Jesus is bigger. So I'm now devoted to Jesus. And that is the big picture, is that we should be looking to Jesus. That's who we're devoted to. And so all those other ones, whether we were with Pantaleon or Paul or John the Baptist, they all fall under Jesus. And we were being too narrow in our scope. So when we said, oh, I'm devoted to Pantaleon, we were forgetting the bigger pictures of the church. And everything ultimately falls under Jesus. Now, that was kind of a simple view of how we should have our religion and what we're devoted to. But we need to remember, when we devote ourselves to someone or to something, hopefully God's way, Jesus's way, we need to be looking at the big picture and not be looking at things very narrowly. And so that is the good news for today. So make sure that if you have time to pop by Fun Day School, it's at 12, and I would love to see you. And we'll learn more about what you're devoted to, and are you religious? And then we will see what comes of that. So I want you to continue to be well, to be safe, be a blessing, and in all things, do it Jesus's way. Okay, we'll see you soon. Bye.